Welcome back to week 127 of my reboot progression series. I thought to myself of how I want to go about things this week and came to the conclusion that we're just gonna have a chill week, right? I don't really know what I have planned for this week. The only new thing that I have on the docket right now is the Demon Slayer coin flip challenge, so we're gonna check that out, of course. And besides that, the main goal for me right now in this game is just to grind. Grind, 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 grind. And for which purpose? What is our goal? Similar to how it is in real life, right? We're looking for money, experience, and fragments. Of course, fragments. Ay, ay, ay. So, I did participate in this challenge, but where do I actually, I'm so confused by this. Huh? I accepted the event and now I want to do the coin flip. It is in progress, but when I click it, it doesn't do anything. I have a suspicion. I'm just gonna go back and kill a couple of monsters and we'll see if this changes anything. And by kill a couple of monsters, I of course mean at least a 30-minute grind, right? And I'm relatively sure that this isn't gonna fix my issue here because, otherwise I would probably see something in the middle of my screen right now where it would count up to like 1,000 mobs or something like that, but, clearly that's not the case. So I am, I don't know, forced to actually read the quest. I mean, hello? Okay, I made it. I figured it out without reading the patch notes. But I did use Allianz chat, which is, it's the same thing basically. Anyways, here in the quest log, it actually says, okay, I gotta kill 2 elite monsters. So, yeah, that's gonna happen within the 25 minutes. And then we're gonna do the coin flip. Alright, so before we get to that though, I just want to give you guys an update on my leveling journey here. And I gotta say, even though there is some burning in EU in other maps that aren't Sunken Ruins 2, like for example Breathtaking Cave 2 or Tainted Trees 2, these have okay burning. I think even like Sunken Ruins 3 or 4, one of those maps is just a straight up Demon Slayer map. Dude, nobody can farm there because it's so AIDS, but Demon Slayers don't care. Anyways, I'm enjoying my grind a lot actually, because I feel like I'm making progress, right? Every day that I grind here, I can see the XP bar going up. It is slow, but 290 is really the big goal for me for this series right now. And yeah, it just feels great working towards this goal basically. On my way, I am gonna hit Soul Janus level 30. Yes, since the last update, I spent all of the fragments that I got on Soul Janus, because why not, right? Honestly, at this point, I'm even gonna go as far and say I wish I would have put more points into Soul Janus earlier, right? If you remember maybe when I got 6 shop, right? It was right on release basically, right? Soul Janus wasn't a thing yet, and I spent a lot of fragments just, for grinding purposes, right? And I feel like if I were to start my Nightwalker again today, I would not put the points into Shadow Bite, which is the farming skill, right? I would put all my points into Soul Janus, basically, because with that, I don't even use Shadow Bite anymore, right? I only spawn the chickens here, let them run around the map and collect the dough. Yeah, my little friend. And yeah, honestly, this is a great way to grind. And I know not every class can do something like this. Some classes have to do something like, yeah, every 7 seconds, right? They have to do something every spawn wave. And other classes, they have, you know, one special skill that they, you know, can press every, what is it, 24 seconds? Yeah. I think the real winner here might probably be Bowmaster, right? I think they can place their summon every, like, 40 seconds or something like that. And just, you know, AFK in the meantime. So yeah, that's, you know, broken. You know, next on though. No, I don't mind actually. I think, honestly, the grind should be made as easy as possible. And that's where my stance is on this. Honestly, grinding to 290 is absolutely insane. It's insane how long this takes. And I am really looking forward to reaching that milestone and being done with the grind. And also being able to play another game again, maybe, you know. But now, for this month and the next month, I'm really, you know, committing to this grind. I want to be 290. I want to reach my goal. So yeah, I'll grind for 20 more minutes and then we'll do the coin flip. Alright, I just saw the rune spawn, looked up and saw that I was done. Really quick 30-minute grind here. I have a couple of those still to do today if I want to reach my goal, but with that being said, let's do the bottle flip. Oh no, I want to say bottle flip, no, the coin flip challenge. Okay, never mind, I have to do it in the event map, it seems like. Event map is holy. Is this quest? Okay. There we go. Now I can actually do it. So today's training is ended. I want to do the coin flip. And it's tails. Okay, it was heads. And I did succeed. Guess I go again and say this time it's heads. Okay, I failed. 9 fragments. 9 bonus fragments a day? That's kind of nice. With how I'm grinding right now, I'm like pulling nearly 100 frags a day. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but I really want to be to 90. So. Alright, so the latest Inkwell node just dropped. And if you want my opinion on that, that entirely depends on what we end up getting here. 30 familiar cards. The rest is nice, but who the hell cares? We got 30 familiar cards. So yes, how many do I want to claim? Yeah, all 30, of course. Okay. And here we are. It is time. It is time. Oh yeah, I'm so nervous. But apparently we're getting new familiars in all areas. So it doesn't matter that much anymore because we can farm them. And I will roll over the 40 ID. It is not good enough. I don't see it ever being good enough. So I want this to be my 40 boss damage that I've been waiting for so long. Nope. Increases meso drop rate. I 2% crit damage. Not good enough. Whole lot of text. Defense. Dude, this could have been double boss damage. Can you imagine if I hit that? That would be crazy. Large MP. Large MP and large HP on separate lines. That's really funny. Let's take a look. Large MP and normal HP to party member. Okay. Let's continue. Use. Okay. 7 strength. Nothing. Large amount of MP, 1% auto steal. MP. Nothing. Nothing. 10% meso obtained. Wow, this is super, super, super rare. This works like an equipment line, basically. So if you have 2 meso obtained familiars, you can basically skip on double priming one of your accessories, which is useful. It is useful. And I would probably keep that if this wouldn't be on my one special awesome super farm that I have here. So that's why I'm not going to keep this, although, you know, this line is extremely rare, but it's useless right now. It's just nice to have, I guess. I can already feel it, that nothing's gonna happen here. Wow. Large amount of HP to party members and then HP to nearby allies. Double healing familiar. These are good, but I have those already, right? If I check HP, dude, I farmed for months and months and months. I have 3 HP familiars. And here, this one is absolutely crazy. The HP and MP line heals more than just the single HP line. And this is large and normal amount. Absolutely crazy. Like, this is a crazy familiar, to be honest. So, just having large HP and normal HP is worse healing in total. And I don't need to. I would never need to. I barely need one. So 6% defense. Wow. 6% total damage. No thanks. 7 attack. 7% attack would be nice. Is it a visual glitch? Nope, it's just 7 attack. Let's continue. Defense and HP. Mixed. Defense and MP. Jump and defense. Jump and drop rate. Defense and jump. Speed and 30 ID. Outlines your character in black. Wow. MP and nothing. Last familiar card. Let's check it out. Absolutely nothing. Wow. Crazy. Okay, so verdict. I hate the node. I kind of appreciate them adding familiars to all zones. But with that being said, that could have been done a year ago. Like, they are so slow when it comes to adjusting any of these features here to make them somewhat balanced, because they don't want to overstep any lines, I guess. And yeah, when they do it, they don't follow up with fixes anyways. So I don't know. Kind of bummed out that I didn't get anything right now. At the same time, we'll get familiars soonish, so I might be able to roll my first 30 plus boss damage familiar, right? But not now. Not now. I'll claim the rest of the gifts here, and yeah. Final words, I would say the community is like so desperate for anything, any improvement to this game, that these 30 familiar cards, a couple of frags and experience is so highly appreciated. Although this should have been like the baseline in my opinion, so I'm not too impressed. I'm not too impressed by this. By this. I'm tired. So yeah. Alright, so I just claimed all the rest of the rewards here, and I'm about to head to bed, but before I do that, Soul Janus, level 29. Absolutely crazy. I do hope that I can finish this up within this week. I would be very much pleased if that would happen. That's 500 more fragments, 6 more days. That's that's a tough one, my yay. But I might make it happen. I might make it happen. And yeah, one extremely important choice right here is which developer head am I selecting, right? And to be honest, I feel like I'm wanting to go with Dr. Lim here. This is just the funniest head ever. Bam. Dude. Yeah, I feel like this is the only hat that you can actually make a fit out of somehow. Yeah. Okay, anyways. Ah, right. Looking at the Space Hipster outfit here, makes me want to speak about the Steam market as well. Because the Steam market is apparently now working, and this is the only item that I can sell. Because this is an item that I unboxed through PSSB, I think. The only item that I ever unboxed and gambled for in this game, because the game gifted everybody one PSSB, I think during Ignition. And I remember I was standing in a Sphera trying to figure out how to open the PSSB. I might be able to find the clip, I'm not 100% sure on that. And yeah, I got this item. And I think I can try to sell this, I guess. Not really sure if that's worth, but it's not like I'm gonna use this ever. And all the rest of my NX items are all just from the events, etc. All the sets that you can just buy straight up. Yup. Okay, I was thinking about what I want to do today before I log off, and I checked the auto harvesting system that they introduced, and I saw this right here. And they, they just, oh my god, I can't put it into nice words. Let me just think about this for a second. They were just mentioning in the Inkwell note that they're proud of, or they are looking forward to develop more GMS exclusive content like this thing, right? I can assure you I was online for more than 8 hours today. And this thing not automatically starting, or even starting after selecting which farm you want to go with and then resetting whenever you relog, is the most obnoxious design ever. And this is obviously done on purpose, right? To infuriate me personally. So yeah, them being proud of their own developments, I don't know. If I would be delivering such slop at work, right, I would get fired for this. This is horrendous, honestly. Aye. To be honest, maybe I should just go to bed right now because I'm a little bummed out that I didn't get anything from the familiar cards. And I will make sure not to check any discords within the next 2 days, yeah. Because I will get even more mad. But I do appreciate the mag potions, yeah. Once the mechanic hits 250, dude, I will be so satisfied. Oh man, that's gonna be great. I already know, since the announcement, the next hyper burner is gonna be Mo Juan. Whenever we can hyper burn him, I will very likely not even create the character until then. Oh, that's hard to say. Maybe I will, and get it to 140, and then we'll get so many growth potions nowadays that you can just growth potion it up to 200 so quickly that it's kind of worth to have the whatever 5% crit damage it will give in the meantime. Yeah. I think that's worth. So yeah, I'll distribute the rest of the rewards here, the experience notes on, I don't know, some random character who will get some levels, and Yeah, some symbols for my mules, right? Nice night. Alright, it's the next day and I'm doing dailies on my Demon Avenger until he gets to 60, right? Finishing up that hyper burn for the extra levels. And yeah, what can I say, dude? I was so mad yesterday evening. Holy moly. I know that, usually if you want to be a successful entertainer, you're just gonna skip over everything that makes you feel in a negative way, basically, and only address the things that are good. And there's a reason for that. This is a statement of fact, to be honest. It's very, very hard to be constantly annoyed and successful at the same time as an influencer if that's not your entire shtick, because it just drives people away, right? People would like to use this for some sort of escapism, and then they would only like to see the positives, stuff like that. At the end of the day, it is kind of a good change to get the familiars everywhere, even though it's kind of late, right? But oh well, I can only think back to what Nintendo's old president said, and that was, if it's not fun, why bother, right? And if I wouldn't be having fun with Maplestory, doing YouTube, etc., I wouldn't bother, right? So in the end of the day, it's all good. And I just want to be to 90. I'll probably finish up my grind right around when the familiars are introduced to the zones, right? To the game, I would say. So, yeah. And just to, cover all my bases here, I did not speak on Mojuang in extensive detail or the Maple Classic world, because I don't care that much about it. I will create the Mojuang, like I said, right? And I will probably not play Maple Classic because it's not a game that I am really that interested in, to be honest. So, yeah, that's about that, okay. Alright, it is now later in the day and it's time to do the coin flip. And therefore, let's start the quest now and then I do my daily grind. Alright, here we go. Coin flip challenge complete. Start. Fails. You failed. 8? 8 though. 8 is still really good. Ay. Nice. Only, what is it? 431 left? To Soul Janus 30? That was roughly correct. Ooh, armor box. Dude, I wasn't recording, but oh my god. I was missing the weapon box for 4 months. And I get this on top. Alright, you saw the drops. I was waiting for this weapon for so long, and then it comes with a book. And it was the run that I was able to loot. Very lucky. But yeah, here's the book. The flame is really bad. But I kinda didn't feel like continuing to flame. It was an upgrade. So okay with me, right? Then the arcane knuckle. Pretty good flame. Decent potential. Keepable until I live on this character. Which means that now this character is also, done until liberation at 57 million combat power. Which is, it's good enough to liberate. It's good enough to run like all of C10 on the weekly, really. But it would take a lot of time, right? And I'm not really looking forward to doing that. That's why I won't, right? I could, but I won't, because it's not time efficient at all. But yeah, I'm super glad that now like all of my mules are completely done. And yeah, I'll go grind. Alright, it's another day and we're gonna start this day off with our daily coin flip. I do appreciate the extra fragments. Okay. And I failed. 9 fragments, very nice. Yeah, I am sitting at 510 right now. And, you know, it's possible that we will get this done. You know, I need 750 once again. Well, it's possible, it's possible. So next up we have the daily monster park runs on the Marksman. And I wanted to just speak about the Inkwell node again. This episode is like all over the place. It's like the really old school way of how I recorded my episodes, right? Just the raw Soga thoughts on the daily, basically. Also, you know, completely inconsistent, but you know, that's the way it was, and that's the way I kind of want to go about things this week, right? So anyways, it is mentioned in the Inkwell note that they are very much aware of the upgrading problems when it comes to the recent KMS changes, 25 to 30 Star Force, stuff like that, right? And in response to that, I did share the plans that I have with the gear on my main, right? I uploaded the video titled 25 Star Golox is the new meta because it is very strong and comparatively much more obtainable than a full pitched item set, right? I know 25 star is quite contentious and very hard to reach, but less than that, like 24, 24, 24, for example, is already better than pitched items. And with that, I decided for myself that I want to do Golox on the daily and start upgrading my Golox items in case we get the same change as KMS did, right? And now they addressed it somewhat. They are aware of the problems that balancing future content around 23 star plus items would cause, right? At the same time, they didn't say that, you know, this is not coming to GMS, where I would definitely still think that, yep, this is coming to GMS, but they want to address the problem in a different way, where they want to make upgrading via the Star Force system more accessible. And they kind of hinted at traces being restored at a higher star count than 12, right? I imagine for heroic it would kind of make sense if you boom an item and have a trace, then and you'll get the replacement item to you know, revive that trace, that the star count would be at the star where you boomed the item. I think that would be cool to have. With that being said, in regards to balance, in heroic, I don't think anybody cares, but the challenge here is for them to find a solution where both interactive and heroic are satisfied with, because I don't think they're gonna introduce any changes to either of these servers individually. So that's why I really don't know what they're gonna do. With that being said, they did announce that they're gonna cover, you know, or announce what they're gonna do in the second half of this year. And, you know, usually when companies announce anything like that, you know, you can't expect it not to be early into the second half of the year, right? So if I were to expect an update here, I would expect it to arrive in like November or December, to be honest. And until then, here's really the thing that I want to talk about, right? Until then, I feel like the progression of characters, of high level characters, is kind of on ice, right? Because you don't know, should I even Star Force more items right now if they're gonna make it easier to Star Force, but they don't work on the accessibility of the items, or you know, whatever. It would be kind of a gamble to upgrade now, and it's kind of demotivating in a sense that you don't know what's gonna happen, and I feel like them announcing that they recognize this problem is kind of worse than them not saying anything, to be honest. They should have come out with the solution right at the gate, but at the same time, the Inkwell node would have been so freaking empty. Like, if you think about it, I don't know. I'm not gonna be, you know, the most popular when it comes to my opinion here, but the entire Inkwell node was kind of a nothing burger for me. Guess, you know, the biggest announcement would be Maple Classic, and if they do it right, I feel like they can really bring a major amount of attention to this game, right? Even the, you know, this version of the game, right? If they don't do it right, it's just wasted potential, and at the end of the day, you know, they hired so much staff that all worked on Maple Classic, which could have gone into this version of the game, while this version of the game is still in this broken state, right? So it's like a hair on the soup or something like that. It's, let's hope that's just gonna be nice. Otherwise, you know, I would be disappointed, basically. Even though I have zero interest in playing Maple Classic, I think it's just a bad version of this game. People like it for the social aspect, but you know, Discord wasn't a thing back then, etc. You know, stuff like that. Everybody knows these arguments, right? I don't have to repeat them here. And the game itself was terrible. It was terrible. Like, I don't know. It was so boring and unbalanced. Bishop was Bishop was still like really good. Bishop, even right now, Bishop is still really good, right? But back then, I don't know. The game was so bad. The HP washing, stuff like that, dude, terrible. With that being said, the rest of the node, besides Maple Classic, if you think about it, okay, thanks for adding the familiars, which have been in the game foils in the game files for a very long time by now, right? Thanks for finally getting us access to that. Because if you would have released another node without giving us familiars, I think the community would have rioted, right? And now you basically got the community into a state of pure desperation, where you just give them the smallest piece of anything that you can give them, and just add a whole bunch of temporary rewards, right? Like the amount of fragments we got and the potions, etc. is really nice, right? And then call it a day, right? Honestly, I don't know if that is really that much, to be honest, right? In comparison to what they could have done all this time, right? Did they take an entire year to decide on how they want to go about getting us access to familiars? Really? I don't know. It seems like, you know, at the end of the day, this is just a product, right? So it seems like they only do the the least to get the maximum profit out of it. And seeing how many people open the newest, like it's not the PSSB, but you know, whatever the Tanjiro event box is called. Philo books, right? I think Philo books. I'm not I don't gamble in this game, so I don't know. Seeing the message pop up in EU, right? In EU, and how often the message popped up for the bug pets, etc. that you gamble for. Seeing the Reddit posts of people spending multiple thousands of dollars. Yeah, I don't know. Like, financially, the GMS seems to be doing great, but at the end of the day, you know, it just doesn't seem like it's their best interest to design the best game, but, you know, rather just run this as a product, which at the end of the day, okay, you know, that's how the modern world is run, but still, I can still, you know, voice my opinion on this and say that I would prefer if, you know, the people would really care for this, like I care, right? So yeah, it's a little disappointing. And yeah, with that being said, since the Star Force situation is so weird, right? The more I read the note, the more demotivated I get to do anything, right? It seems like, okay, until they make their decision of what they want to do, you can just go into daily mode, right? Don't invest your time into this game right now. Don't, like, this is what they're saying, like, guys, don't invest your time into this game. We are not sure what we're gonna do here anyways, and we're gonna give you the heads up in the next half year. So until then, just play a different game, please. I don't know. Maybe that is just me, but you know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, and it's awful, right? It kind of, I really like thought about it for a couple of minutes here of what my, you know, gameplay or my relationship to this game would look like if I were to kind of minimize it while still, you know, efficiently making gains. I'm not really sure. That was probably the most convoluted way of how I could have said this, to be honest. But what I'm getting at is, how can I minimize playtime while maximizing gains on the main, right? Or like on the main, right? I would say doing something like this right now, right? Working on a Legion character, working at getting it to 250 is still, in a way, working on the main, right? Because this character will have one extra slot, or will provide one extra slot or like grid space on the grid, which is 1% buff duration, which is in turn 0.1%, 0.1 seconds of Angelic Buster Link during burst, right? So this is something, right? I'm working towards something with this character here that will benefit the main, right? But it's not very efficient, right? If I think about the most efficient way to spend my time with this game right now, would probably me logging in, still doing Golox because, you know, I'm coping, like, and you know, like I always say, doing anything in this game takes forever and it's a long-term commitment. So I would do Golox on the daily. I would do my 3000 monster kill quest on the daily. My not sacred, it's not the Sacred Force daily. Like, imagine if I would be 290, right? Because right now all of my symbols are maxed, right? So it really doesn't matter, right? But I would still do the daily of the area that I'm grinding in, because it gives experience, right? This is what I'm getting at, basically. And then I would do the event, you know, do the coin flip or whatever is going on right now, and then I would just log out. And to be honest, that would take maybe 15 minutes, right? I guess in the near future. Yeah, no, that would take that would take 15 minutes. Although, you know, there are some weekly to-dos that I would need to do. So I could see myself spending like 15 minutes a day in this game. And then once a week, spend more time with the game. So the weekly to-dos would be, first of all, I need to run Colvet for, you know, guild skills. Then I still would like to progress Guild Castle, although it's kind of low priority, right? It still gives fragments, right? So why not? So I would do Guild Castle, that's like 25 minutes. 5 minutes for Colvet. Then I would do, of course, all my solo bossing activities, which hopefully soon enough is all of C10 and Extreme Lotus, right? That's still the goal for 2025 to solo X Lotus. And I think with the new masteries, it is in the range of possibility for me. Then I guess I would want to do my party bossing, although it's not really that required, right? Like Chaos Carlos would be nice to do on the weekly. Maybe Extreme Seren if I find a group where that's just super feasible to do. And then normal culling, right? And then, you know, maybe normal limbo. So it honestly, that's plenty of bossing, right? So I probably wouldn't want to do Extreme Seren because I don't even have a Zerg, right? So the enhancement would be useless, even if it were to drop, and if I were to win the blink, which is, you know, it's crazy, right? Yeah, okay. Let's just say I wouldn't do Extreme Seren, and I would just do solo bossing up to normal colors and easy culling, right? Imagine I get the shoulder to 22, and I'm seriously not that interested in running normal culling anymore, right? So then I would only need to do party bossing for for Limbo. So that would be, yeah, I could see myself doing that. So I would have like one extended day, which would be a couple of hours, right? To get everything done. Like the C10 and C10 takes no time at all. Like that's 20 minutes maybe. I can skip Will because I have a book, right? And the other bosses are just one shots, so it really doesn't matter that much. Then normal colors, I think it's a 15-minute run for me, should be. Ah, wait, no, I'm 3-minute class, so like 20 minutes. Yeah, 20-minute run. Then easy culling, I guess. I don't know if I would really want to run easy culling. I guess grindstone is nice, but yeah, I don't know. Like easy culling is I mean, it's you know, for some people they will cringe, but I think easy culling is very hard. So, to solo, right? Even though the damage requirement is not that high. Maybe I would just need to take a thorough look at actually soloing easy culling, and then, you know, it is actually like feasibly or relatively feasible to do, right? But I don't know. So okay, just to recap, like 15 minutes a day doing 3k kill quest, and then the Talahart daily, whatever event check-in I need to do, boom, I'm done. And then once a week do Pulvard, Angler Company, Monster Park, because that's gonna be a weekly, Guild Castle, and solo bossing up to normal colors and one run of normal limbo. And that would be it, right? That would be probably less than 10 hours a week. Oh no, very likely actually. Maybe even less than 5 hours a week, while still making like really good games. Really good games. Yeah. That's, you know, that's just, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but like I haven't discussed the Inkwell node here with too many players that don't just also kind of feel underwhelmed by it. So maybe there was something for you that I just completely overlooked or something like that. But for me, I don't know, very demotivating, and it just creates that big urge to go to other games and check them out while still kind of making gains in Maplestory. But yeah, with that being said, even though this was a nice like thought experiment, I need, like, for my mind's sake, I need to reach 290 first, right? And then I consider taking it slower. But by the time I am 290, the familiars are gonna be out, and maybe the familiar grind is gonna motivate me to just keep on grinding on the main, because I don't see myself grinding on the mules right now. I'm really not that interested in grinding the mules. And with that being said, maybe in the like how I would make efficient gains, right? If I need that Meso injection, I would also run C10E on the Blaze Wizard, right? Because pitchies pitchies can happen. Yeah, but the other bossing mules, nah. I honestly I don't even want to run this character right now. Like here you can see I didn't do my bosses yet this week, and I don't want to, because I am kind of done spending money, right? If I'm waiting with all my upgrades until the second half of this year, potentially the end of this year, right? If I keep farming like I'm farming and I keep doing all my bossing mules, etc., at the end of the year, I'm gonna have over 1 trillion mesos in the inventory. Because I don't have anything to spend my money on besides, star forcing the Eternals. The rest is done, right? I know I can super min-max flames, but I'm not gonna go down that road where I'm like spending billions and billions on red flames, right? If they would give us rainbows in the shop for a reasonable price, then I could see myself improving my flames. But I already have like 5 bill plus flames on all the items, so yeah. And potentials to double priming is straight up dead, because in the future system you will always want to have a spare that you roulette on to potentially 23 star some items if they go, etc., and then having to find a double prime setup twice. Very unreasonably costly, I think. Wait, I should go to Moonbridge and also do Moonbridge daily. Kinda forgot about this. Do I have this added here? No, Moonbridge. Yeah, Moonbridge is 245. That's why. Okay. Well, then we're done, and let's head back to town. This was basically, random thoughts that I was thinking. But that doesn't mean that anything's gonna change about this progression series at all now. For now, no. But I'm just toying with the idea here. Oh, I forgot. Anna. I was just toying with the idea because I don't know. I really don't like. I'm kind of unsatisfied with the node, and I see everybody so happy with it, and that's so alienating that I feel like I don't belong, right? And then maybe I should take it slow, become more casual, so I can relate again. I guess I don't know. It's really strange. Yeah, and at the same time, I do want to play a couple of other games as well. I have some things in my catalog, right, that I want to check out, but at the same time, like, my goal, number one goal, reach to 90. Reach to 90, reach to 90, reach to 90. Then Then we'll see. Maybe we will call it, right? Progression series, week 150 is gonna be the end, and we'll just say, okay, 0 to 290, it was a good run. Although, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, now we've done everything here. Bam. So while yapping, how long did this take me? 26 minutes. Ooh, that's no. How long was this clip? It wasn't. I hope it wasn't 26 minutes that I was just yapping here. Oops. Okay, that's it. Bye. All right, next clip in Arcana on my Thunderbreaker here, because today is a really special day for this character. So let's just finish up these dailies, and then I'll show you why, because we're about to be done with all of these. So let's just claim bam bam bam. And you might say, oh, you're actually not done, but today I got a symbol selected from the Tanjiro event, which I am gonna use because I am in a getting it done kind of mood today. So let's get those out. And I want all of them to be arcane symbol selectors. Alright, and now it should just, yeah, okay, it just says, okay, you want 29, that's a perfect amount. Lovely. So yeah, and afterwards I will just do hard lotus on this guy with the fresh gains that I got here today. Okay, and pop, 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 pop. Switch into forcing gear. And I got a comment reminding me to switch my Guardian Angel Ring to the Dawn boss set. And I forgot about that, so this is the updated combat power for my Thunderbreaker. I think still the weakest out of my mules, out of my top 6 mules, but I don't mind, right? I also got a good flame now. I mean, good, heavy quotation marks, you know, this is a mule, this is an okay flame, right? If all set would be like 6, then great, but otherwise, meh. So, yeah, I'll just get it done now. Alright, here we are. If you are not aware of one like super cool trick that I have going on here with these setups, is that I have a daily bossing and daily mobbing setup, which basically has one empty link skill page attached to it. So you can see my bossing setup uses link skill setup 2, my looting setup, link skill setup 2, the usual, the mobbing setup, link skill setup 1, and then the daily bossing and daily mobbing setups, they use the third link skill preset, which here in this, oops, didn't want to click there. In this case, in the third preset, I don't have anything, which is extremely nice if you have to do dailies on multiple characters without, you know, having to deplete your daily link skill switches, right? With that being said, thank you for the black card. Yup, the usual. Dive. He will FMA. He will FMA after test. After, like, when he's unbound, really do Jenny. Or lose the ore. Left. Last one is top right. I'm pretty sure. Sorry. Okay. Jenny, now. It will take 2 seconds, and then there it is. Left is up. Alright, today's Sunday. Sunny Sunday, sunny Sunday, Easter Sunday. And as you've seen, we did try to run colors today, but we kind of failed this week. I don't know. That's the way it is, right? Anyways, I'll just do my like 3,000 kills, and I want to do the coin flip as well. Yes, please. And get that done and over with, and then I'll just peace out for the day. Really quick day today because I don't have any time to do anything else. I just thought today is the day where we finally wrap up the Tanjiro's training journal, and I am gonna claim the Transcendent Growth Potion on the main, and I'm gonna use it on the main also. This is gonna be 1.7% or 1.6%. Decent for me. That's like 2 webs right there on low burning without MVP. Roughly. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's aight. It's aight. I just want to be to 90, my guys. Alright, time for the quickest coin flip of my life, and then I'm heading straight to bed. Okay. Did you really get it 3 times in a row? Yes, I did. 14. Thank you very much. Take care, bye. Let's do that quickly. Yes, please. So no slacking allowed. Wait, did I fail? Yeah, okay, I failed. But here are my 8 fragments. So I need roughly 89 fragments to go to get to my goal. And I guess this is expiring today. Oops. Oops. Oh man. Alright, it's Tuesday. I just came home from work, and so this is the type of day where I just wonder, dude, why do we still have to go to work? Didn't the like technology progress humanity enough for us to just, do whatever we like? Holy, I'm so done with today, to be honest. But I'd still, I'd still do everything. I get the grind going, etc. I will also do my dailies on the Marksman today, because yesterday there was no time for that at all. So yeah, let's see. All right, last action for today, doing the coin flip. I seen in chat today that I just gotta click tails for the full 14. Well, that wasn't the case. All right, another day, another set of dailies done. Let me head to town. And yeah, 244 is gonna be mine. Very nice. All right. I gotta go to work though. All right, I'm ready to go. Do you see this right here? 758 fragments. That means that I'm finally able to level up Soul Janus for the last time. Plus 15% EXP and plus 40 seconds of duration for the ball, or the balls, or the dawn bubbles. Bubbles is, more kid friendly, I suppose. Yeah, man. This is huge. now I can like fully chill. Or I mean, it doesn't get lazier than this. We are like maxed out on the laziness now when it comes to grinding. Which, yeah, it's nice. Nice. I might have to try to, I don't know. I might have to switch up the loot rotation here because the mesos are gonna be piling up more than usual. And I do want to loot everything, right? So right now I think I will do like a double loot rotation where, you know, I see, okay, okay, let me just, you know, let us wait until it's actually time to loot. As far as I know, the mesos only stay around for 2 minutes. So I think it would make sense if I start my loot rotation like one spawn wave before I actually have to loot the mesos. And yeah, but I'm not 100% sure if I can just go or not. We will figure that out in just a second here. Okay. I guess after this, I would just go once, again, and then I'll go for the second round where I'm actually replacing the bubbles. And that should basically cover all the mesos and still work with one vac pad. You know, the other method here would be just to revive another vac pad, right? And then just use 2 or even 3, right? And then, you know, that issue would be also solved. It would be more lazy, I suppose, but is that really worth the extra 20 bucks? Plus, you know, getting the vac pads to begin with, right? It's not that worth. All right, I'll just grind it out for a bit here. Damn, nothing. All right, and that should do it for this week's episode. I'm just gonna do my last coin flip here, and then, you know, we are out. This was just a normal week for me, like any other week. Really didn't do anything special, and that's fine. I had a lot of fun playing the game, had a lot of fun recording, and I hope you're around for many more episodes after this one, right? So see you guys next Thursday. Take care, everybody, and bye bye.